How long does it really take to get ISO 9001 certified? And how can you achieve ISO certification fast? Hello, I'm Jonathan, and welcome to Core Business Solutions. We are ISO experts helping hundreds of American small businesses every year. And in this video, we'll tackle those questions and more. And stick around until the end. We have some great free resources to help you optimize your business. So how long does ISO 9001 certification actually take? You might have heard a lot of different numbers floating around. You might have even heard numbers as long as 6 months to a year. But how long will it really take for your business to get certified? If you're hearing something as long as half a year or a year, it's probably because of one or two common mistakes. The first possible mistake is simply misunderstanding the standard. ISO 9001 can apply to any business of any size. It doesn't matter if you're a manufacturer or a service provider. If you have 10 employees or 100, it can apply to you. But that also means that the language of the standard can get complicated. If it was too specific, it couldn't apply to so many businesses, so it's non-specific, and that makes it hard to figure out exactly what it's asking for and how those requirements apply to your specific business. So understandably, when businesses go it alone, they often end up misinterpreting parts of the standard. They make months of progress in the wrong direction, and then at some point, maybe at their first audit, they realize they misunderstood something. Then they have to backtrack, maybe even start over, and that costs a lot of time. And that's when you start to see numbers like 6 months to a year. The second possible mistake, businesses just get too busy. They have a lot going on, they have a business to run, and the work of ISO 9001 gets pushed to the back burner. Documentation gets missed, meetings get rescheduled and rescheduled and rescheduled. We all know how that goes. And so ISO 9001 certification ends up taking much longer than necessary because it's simply not a priority. But if you're not making these mistakes, ISO 9001 certification doesn't need to take a year or even half a year. So how long does it actually take? Well, our average customer reaches certification in 4 months. We've even had customers achieve certification in 30 days, but keep in mind the old wisdom of what you put in is what you get out. That applies here. If you need to fast-track certification, you probably can, but to get the most out of it, to really see the benefits of certification instead of just getting a piece of paper, we suggest about 4 months. At the end of those 4 months, your external auditor will be looking for 3 things before you can receive your certification. First, documentation. These are the documents that show your processes being managed. If you want to know more about those documents and processes, we have a free guide to the ISO 9001 standard that you can download at the link in the description. This is a great way to get familiar with the standard and start seeing how it applies to you. Second, the auditor will want to see that you're holding regular management reviews. Now, nobody wants another meeting in their agenda, but consistent review meetings with top management help you stay on track with ISO 9001, and they're a required component of the standard. And third, you need to conduct an internal audit. This audit simulates the actual third-party certification audit so that you can find any problems and correct them before the real thing. And again, this is a required part of the standard. It has to happen before you can achieve certification. So if you understand the ISO 9001 standard and keep it a priority, those 3 things can all happen within 4 months. But if you try to tackle this by yourself, you can easily fall into one of those 2 pitfalls we talked about earlier in the video. ISO 9001 is a complicated standard, and you have a business to run. It's hard to keep ISO 9001 at the forefront when so many other priorities are vying for attention. But ISO 9001 certification doesn't have to be a long, arduous process. It just takes the right help, the right training, and the right tools. At Core Business Solutions, we take on the complicated work of ISO 9001 so you can focus on your business. With a handful of meetings and a little time to help us craft your documentation, you can reach the finish line fast. ISO 9001 certification only takes a long time if you're going it alone, and you don't have to go it alone. Subscribe to our channel for more insights into ISO 9001 and other standards. And if you found this helpful, give it a like and share it with a friend. We're excited to hear about your business and to learn how we can help you achieve success. Thanks for watching.